Yeah, this is the largest land bank for residential development left in Brisbane, really, in a prime site. You think of the size of that area and how ripe it is, and developers have had their eye on it for a very, very long time. That land is appreciated in value significantly, and no one will tell you that the best site to run a milk factory in the modern world is right next to the central business. It's inevitable that those land uses, eventually the pressures will be there for conversion. And the question has always been, what do we do?
Yeah, what do you hear that's going to be done?
So this is very much a mixed-use precinct with a heavy emphasis on residential, but we'll all see lifestyle and amenity at the fore. It's not the very large park precinct idea that in the dying days of the Bligh government was announced during the election campaign, with very sketchy detail, I might add. This is a much more developed sort of vision for most of that precinct. The towers aren't necessarily going to be too high if they stick to previous planning for the area, ranging from 8 to up to around 15 at max stories. But we'll see what comes out when the plan is finally released. You've just had an intrepid reporter from the Brisbane Times break the gun, I guess, releasing key detail on the development ahead of time.
And some of that's a new CityCat stop too they're talking about, opposite the Milton CityCat stop.
Yeah, if there's one problem with the site, it's that it's not really well located in terms of rail and busway infrastructure. And some of the inner city development in Brisbane has been cursed by this. You think of Newstead as well. So people have looked to things like the CityCats and other things to try and at least offer some public transport in. And it really wouldn't surprise me that this development might start to spur talk about light rail again in Brisbane.
Yeah, well, that's good with the Gold Coast. But, South Brisbane Railway Station is pretty easy access to Goma, and Goma's just right on the edge of the precinct.
You're talking a good 600 to 800 metre walk minimum to get to parts of this precinct from that station.
Yeah, but that's not far.
Well, it's starting in an inner city environment. Anything over that, more than and with the traffic lights, etc., you're probably talking a 12 to 15 minute walk, and that starts to become problematic for people. I think what's going to happen is, the density of development predicted down there, the city glider route will become a bus that runs every few minutes to every couple of minutes. And eventually, that's why we're building the bus and rail tunnel. The bus component is to clean up the congestion problem on that North Quay Bridge, which, if you've ever seen it at 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
it's monstrous.
It's kind of hilarious. And a problem of our success, the problem of that. So one of the big issues for the precinct is how many cars will come with the apartments and the jobs that locate into those developments.